Oh wow, this video has done really well. I better have something great to follow up. Oh, what's this? Herb, I know what we're doing today. At the beginning of the year, I traveled to Japan with some friends. It was fun, we were very silly. I might make a more interesting video about that. Unfortunately, this video is about Duolingo, the language learning app. See, one of my biggest takeaways from that trip was the language barrier. I don't speak Japanese, so communication was incredibly awkward and stressful, but also enlightening. It really highlighted how small my worldview was and gave me a desire to expand it. It was the first time I've ever truly wanted to learn a new language. I mean, not even anime could get me to learn a new language, and I'm a sub-watching weeb. Come on! So when I got home, I excitedly installed Duolingo and began my journey of broadening my horizons by learning Chinese. What, just cause I went to Japan and like anime doesn't mean I have to learn Japanese? You don't know me. You can't predict what I'm gonna do. Get your ducks in a row, viewer. I certainly have mine. Anyway, I was not ready for the living nightmare my life would become for the next 3 months. To preface, I don't have much experience with language learning. My only experience has been the American public education system, and as a product of the American public education system, I can only describe it as, in 2 words, really not good. Though, to be fair, I'm also just really bad at learning languages, including English. Like, I was sent to ESL in elementary school. If you don't know what that is, ESL stands for English as a Second Language, which is mostly for immigrants who are learning English as a second language. I guess you could have guessed that. I was born in the United States. I am a native English speaker. So, yeah. I think the problem was that I refused to learn to read until the 3rd grade. Funny story, my dad kept trying to teach me how to read, but one day he got really frustrated and yelled, "You have to learn to read. There's no job out there that will let you work without reading." And I said, "Yes, there is. I can be a garbage man." "No, you can't. You need to be able to read the road signs to drive a garbage truck." "No, I'm gonna be the guy in the back." And like that, my dad lost an argument to an illiterate 8-year-old. But thinking back, the whole situation's pretty funny. Like, when you ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, they'll usually say something ambitious like a doctor, a movie star, a mermaid princess, fighting against the Zergurgan space invaders to protect the intergalactic Mermaid Princess Alliance. Or an engineer, and here's me wanting to ride the back of a garbage truck so I didn't have to read. Anyway, not long after that, they replaced that guy with a robot arm, so I had to learn to read.
They took our jobs! They took your jobs!
They took your jobs! Took your jobs!
But look at me now! Now I'm writing scripts, and even adding meta commentary about writing scripts in the script. Man, a good writer would definitely not write this line here because it's completely wasteful and doesn't add anything of value to the video. Okay, that's enough of a tangent. I just wanted to share my bad language learning experience so you understand how surprised I was to actually like Duolingo. I love the way it gamifies language learning, and the entire vibe of the app is incredibly charming. And almost non-judgmental. I'm sorry, don't look at me like that. Thank you. Now, I don't want this to be an endless praise of the app, especially since they're not giving me any money. So, I've done a bit of digging into people's opinions of Duolingo, and people have some mixed opinions, such as this not being the most effective way of learning languages, or that it's only good for basic entry-level learning and not really for further proficiency, which seems fair. I'm not deep enough into Duolingo, and I don't know enough about language learning to form a deeper opinion. To me, it's just a really neat app, and I've enjoyed it so far. This is not relevant, but I love their characters. They're so fun. I'm gonna use them throughout the rest of this video. Anyway, Duolingo has an XP system. Each time you do a lesson, you get some XP. The XP is mostly just a way to numerically track your effort. They aren't really used for anything, except for leagues. Leagues are small competitions where users are ranked by how much XP they earned that week, and the top however many of the league advances to the next one. And after my first week, Duolingo said I was now in the league. Now, I'm a competitive person that doesn't like competing. Competitions bring the worst out of me, and I tend to sacrifice my enjoyment in order to win. So, I didn't want to get into the leagues. But I'm also a very curious person, and I wanted to see where these leagues go. Like, maybe I'll get a trophy. I'll just participate a little bit. And a little bit won't hurt, right? The first few leagues went by, and I got first in each one. I didn't do anything special, I just naturally did more because I was eager to learn. However, subconsciously, I was being trained to enjoy being first. Like, being told that I was the best at language learning, a skill I'm terrible at, was weirdly validating. I didn't notice it, but I was starting to get addicted to winning. Again, I wasn't serious about the leagues. Until I reached the Emerald League. Once there, I met my first tryhard. Oh, that's a funny notification. No matter, I'll just do a couple lessons. There, now I'm first again, no problem. Okay, it's on. Now, competing in Duolingo is really weird, cause you don't directly interact with each other, you just see what scores you two have and try to outplace each other. It's like one of those old arcade games with a public scoreboard, except you can see the whole profile of your enemies and develop more personal rivalries. Watch out, Lily, I'm about to add a third L to your name. So I started doing lessons to pass them. But then I realized their score was increasing at the same time. Okay, I see how it is.
客气。再见。
刷卡。
I managed to stay first in the end, but I was lucky because that person gave up partway. In the future, that might not be the case. We're in the upper leagues now. People are going to be more competitive. And I need a strategy to beat them. So I went full gamer mode and created the ultimate XP grinding strat. Here's the ultimate guide to XP grinding in Duolingo. Mandarin Edition. Mandarin has a thing called pinyin, which is like how to sound Chinese words with the Latin alphabet. Duolingo has pinyin lessons that are short with only 10 questions. There are longer versions you can randomly get, so you'll want to check the progress bar after the first question. If it moved too little, then re-roll for a short one. Now the real strength of pinyin lessons is that they follow a pattern. The first 4 questions are a bit annoying to explain, but basically you solve 2 of them, then the other 2 are given. The last 6 questions are even easier because they just alternate between the 2 possibilities. Using this, each lesson takes 10 to 15 seconds. I round this up to 20 seconds because of loading times and bad rolls. Now you get 45 minutes of double XP a day. 15 in the morning, 15 in the evening, and 15 whenever you finish the 3rd chess quest. Time for some math. You get 15 XP from a perfect lesson, which means 30 XP from double XP. 1 lesson every 20 seconds makes 90 XP a minute. After 45 minutes, you get 4,050 XP in a day, which is 28,350 XP in a week. Time for you to become a pro gamer in Duolingo. 1 take. Yes! I did it! Woo! Oh, I don't want to do this ever again. I started going off on Duolingo. Week after week, league after league, I placed first, again and again, knocking out every tryhard I met. They were no match. Except for this one guy in the Pro League who took first place. We don't talk about them. Moving on. I was, mostly, unstoppable. But while I was achieving absolute Duolingo domination, something felt wrong. I haven't learned anything for weeks, and I didn't even want to do lessons anymore. I just wanted to grind XP, and I don't even enjoy grinding XP. I just want to win. But for what? It's like somewhere along the way, the heart and passion I had for learning morphed into a twisted obsession for meaningless validation. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? This was not what I wanted. This was not why I started this. I wanted to experience more in this life. I wanted to see more of this world. Not do a stupid competition. How did it devolve into this? I reached the final league. the Diamond League. I'm so close. Just one last time of doing this and I'm done. Then I can go back and put this behind me. Just one more week. And with one final, painfully tedious grind, I placed first in the Diamond League. I made it. And while this has taken a toll on my mentality, maybe I can still go back and rediscover my passion for language learning. Wait, what's this? Congratulations, you are now eligible to compete in the 3-week-long Diamond Tournament. So, turns out that once you finish the Diamond League, a new special 3-week league opens up called the Diamond Tournament. And yeah, I joined the tournament. I had to. I mean, I didn't have to, but I needed this last win. I've been grinding for weeks. I've literally left conversations midway in order to farm XP. Was this sunk cost? Yes, but I also really wanted a trophy. A stupid trophy, but my stupid trophy. And so, I won the first round, then the second. My strategy held strong, but the whole experience was a massive burden. I'm so exhausted. I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm in the final round now. A sweaty tryhard in a meaningless tournament on a silly language learning app surrounded by a bunch of other sweaty tryhards. It's time to finish this. One last time. Oh, but then Duolingo bugs out on me and my strat completely breaks. For whatever reason, instead of 30 XP a lesson, I get 10, 1/3 of my usual. So now I'm scrambling, trying to get whatever XP I can while everyone else keeps climbing with thousands of XP. Is this how it ends? After all that work? Nope, on the last day the bug cleared randomly and I was able to climb up to 4th place. It's not top 3, but I at least made the cut for a tournament win. And that's all I wanted. I just won a participation trophy, something to say I finished the tournament. The prize was 30 minutes of double XP. Which is completely useless. I'm done with the XP grind. I don't need a grind anymore. I want a trophy. This is basically nothing. I did all of this for nothing. Okay, so it wasn't entirely all for nothing. While doing these lessons, in order to make the grind a bit more interesting, I did them while planking, and I've gotten weirdly good at them. I could barely do a minute before. But what is the value of a mildly impressive plank time compared to losing the passion to learn? After the whole tournament, I barely used Duolingo, and I've struggled to start learning again. That fiery passion I started with nearly burnt out, and I'm just grasping for the last few embers, hoping that I can bring back at least a small flame. I'm upset, a little at Duolingo for having this system that pits people against each other in a pointless competition that incentivizes meaningless XP grind instead of meaningful learning, and then ending those months of investment with effectively a slap in the face. But I'm mostly upset at myself for taking this so far that I ruined the raw excitement and passion to learn. It was such a waste. Wait, I was going through my Duolingo account and I found out they have achievements! Look, I have a badge for the Diamond League and tournament! I take back everything I said. This was absolutely worth it! Hi there. So, this would be where I put a black screen monologue, but I have something I want to say, so I'm gonna keep drawing to keep your attention since you guys drop off like flies. I bet a bunch of you just left, you impatient bunch. Anyway. I did not expect the city's video to do as well as it did, and I'm blown away by all the support and positive feedback, so I want to say to all of you, I am making that furry video. In fact, it was supposed to be this video, but I thought it'd be more fun if I drew some of your furries. And don't act like none of y'all are furries. I see the comments. Look at that profile pic. There's at least one furry among you. Also, I'm gonna go with the more liberal definition of furry, so like cat girls or cat boys are allowed too. I will be drawing the ones that I find interesting, funny, or charming, so mention the physical attributes, the clothing. I'm not drawing naked furries for free, and also describe the personality and backstory a bit. Don't write a whole novel, just like a few sentences. If you write a novel, I'm not reading it. I feel like I've established by now, I do not like to read. You can put a comment in the video, the related community post, send an email, or send me something on Twitter. I don't know how Twitter works, but maybe I'll see it. Anyway, that's the most important message over. I can go back to being a black screen. I'm glad some of you guys pointed out the little Easter eggs in the video. However, no one pointed out this one. Oh, it's just a drawing of the Scholastic Book Fair. Yeah, but who are the characters? Captain Underpants, The Diary of the Wimpy Kid, Clifford the Big Red Dog, Cat in the Hat, Pikachu. But who's this? This isn't a character. Did no one really notice this dude? This guy's an imposter. You want proof? Look what happens when you zoom in. Yeah, exactly.